it's been 1 week for you, but it's been a full month for us because Reese was gone.
I was in Europe.
Yes.
It's been so long.
Yeah,
All right,
I was
to kick this off, it's the lunch break. Let's review our last season. Does anyone actually remember it?
It's been a month since we last played.
Well, like, I'm still editing, and Riley's usually there when I edit, and he knows that every once in a while, I will just turn to him and be like, I hate Miss Shepherd.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, okay, we were in it was just basically, the really short story is we were these superpowered trio put together through this essentially juvie-type program for people with powers.
This was the hardest season.
How is it the hardest season?
It went hard on us.
I did.
I mean, I don't know if it was for everyone else. It was the hardest season for me, being Timberwolf, and walking that fine line between a reckless character that doesn't always make decisions that the rest of the team would necessarily agree with, and not being just a totally unlikable douchebag. And it was really hard, you guys. Like, there were a lot of nights after we finished recording, Jamie and I would, like, sit together and we would just look at each other and just go, like, are our characters just, like, the worst? Are we just totally unlikable?
There was that episode where where Bree and Lyle just did not hit it off. Tried to apologize, did not work out. And for the next 2 weeks while we were waiting to record again, I was super anxious. Like, I was trying to figure out, how the fuck do I fix this? What did Bree do wrong? How do I make it right? Oh my god, I'm dying.
Yeah, I feel like the interactions of the teenagers were really real in this.
Oh, the teen drama. It was hard.
There was a moment at work where, like, I literally had a panic attack because I was thinking too hard about Bree.
Oh no!
I'm sorry.
No, it's great.
Well, I think you all will be happy to know that my next couple will not be so dark.
Yeah,
serious.
Honey Song. I'm excited for that one shot.
One of the things I really liked was, I would say, so, like, I have a thing for soft characters. I just do. I don't get enough of it in my life, okay? All of my characters tend to be very hurt. And so
you do have a very specific character type.
I'm trying to work on that.
Of, like, this exasperated, like, softie that's just, like...
We all kind of do. Like, Riley always plays, like, the lawful goods, and I always play the sexy assholes. And Reese always plays the soft boys. But, like, the soft, edgy boys.
Okay, Nari wasn't edgy until, like, the end.
Nari was barely even edgy at the end.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like,
it was more of just, like, kind of her style, where she had, like, a lot of black in there, but she also had, like, some of the pastels in there, too.
Yeah, just because I love Nari, and, like, Nari's was, like, an actual character I already had, and when Rowan was like, hey, I'm doing a superhero, I was like, slam down, here's my girl. Like, I had no second thoughts of, like, anyone else. I was like, I need my girl to be known by the world.
Nice.
Well, our viewer audience, but same difference. Y'all are the world to us because we're new baby podcasters.
Baby podcasters.
Am I wrong? No. So.
And I feel like that season went much better than Camping with Cryptids, which, if you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes, Camping with Cryptids is a part of the Mark Experience archives. It was our first demo season.
It's on YouTube, so you guys can go watch it.
The audio is not great. The writing is subpar, but we love it, so it's in the archives.
Mothman is there, and our characters were beautiful.
Yeah, it was a family, and it was cute.
But I definitely feel like this is probably one of the best sessions or seasons I've ever written. I've written other ones that I've played not on the podcast, and this was definitely the best.
I agree.
It was so good. With Miss Shepherd,
You got so invested.
I know, we were all, like, even when Rowan had to go to bed, because Rowan's ahead of us, like, Riley, Jamie, and I would stay up just talking.
Yeah. We spent an entire 2 hours after one of the campaigns, after you went to bed, and we were all just like, what is their deal? Why are we the worst? We need to flesh this out.
Yeah, like, we had to explain, like, how, Jamie and I had to be like, hey, Timberwolf's coming off this way, and we know you don't want him to come off this way.
Yeah, and like Bree's coming off this way, and it seems kind of asshole-ish, but she means it from the bottom of her heart in a nice way.
Yeah, like, we just delved into it, and it was wonderful, mind you. It was just...
Yeah, I wish we were recording it.
I know, it was so, like, in-depth, and it was just, like, a big moment.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend some influence right now to stand by Timberwolf. I think, you know what? I stand by my son and his terrible choices, and I think he was justified in his actions.
No, yeah, we love him.
Yeah, he's great.
I'm not bashing him. I was just saying, like,
What I love about Timberwolf is everything he did was in character, and that's what justified his actions.
Yeah, all of our characters were, like, so in character that that's what made us all separate. Because we all had such different mentalities that they just collided with each other.
Mm-hmm. And we really leaned into it, too, because we recognized this was a teen drama. It's literally, the game talks about it like a teen drama, and it has mechanics built around like teen drama and like relationship
you don't take damage,
crashing.
You take conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still literally a teenager. I just recently turned 19.
Okay.
I'm 21.
I'm not a teenager anymore.
I'm turning 22 in like 2 months.
Oh, God.
As ridiculous. Okay, as hyped as we all were about the season, does anyone have any questions they would like to ask Rowan? Because I said we should prepare questions.
Okay, I have one that just has been pulling at my mind. Is like, what would have been the interactions with Bobby if you had brought him in more? Like, what would have happened? Because I know you, like, mentioned, I can't wait for Bobby to come in more, and I was so anxious because I was like, oh no, Nari's not really into dudes. Oh no.
There definitely would have been that level of, like, having to find out how to reject someone who likes you and the awkwardness that happens after that.
Bree would be there and be a bro and, like, have your back.
Oh, would y'all like to hear about my giant list of characters I keep talking about?
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
Wait.
All right.
Wait. Can I write them down? I've been wanting to do that forever.
Okay. How about this? I'll just copy and paste them in.
That'll be a lot quicker. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let me just select all this.
You know who I miss?
Yeah.
Kirby.
Kirby was great.
Matthew did so good.
Kirby was amazing. I have +3 influence with Kirby.
Kirby was so good, and then
Matthew was fun.
Matthew was so fun. I would love to have him on again. To be real though, every time we brought in a guest star, they've just upped the ante of how fun it's been.
For our audience, Justin, our guest star in season 1 of Eden's Grove, was like a friend of ours from high school, so we were all pretty comfortable with him. But the three of us, Reese, me, and Riley, we've never met Matthew. And yet, we got off so well with him. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I was very nervous about Matthew coming in, and then I was super hyped when Matthew did. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
He was so cool, and he's just such a genuine guy. Like,
oh, I just realized that Matthew's gonna be listening to this.
Hey, Matthew!
Matthew is so far behind. Like,
okay, yeah, but still,
he is is not listening to the
I mean,
most
he
recent
probably
episodes.
will.
He'll hear this like a year after it comes out.
I know, but it's still we can gush about Matthew. He's so nice. It's just
He
like,
is.
and like it was so
Let me-
cool. Like,
I do want to say that throughout the weeks, because he goes to the same school as me, so we see each other pretty much every day. He was constantly like, "Man, I hope your friends like me. I hope I'm not being like too pushy on the show. I feel like I'm super out of place."
No, Kirby did great.
No,
he was-
I feel
It
bad
was
because
lovely.
like we're such a loud group and we're so
Oh, God.
boisterous that I thought that he was gonna hate us because he wouldn't be able to get a word in.
Yeah.
I know. I was just so worried.
He was really happy to be here.
Aw.
Yay!
I have a question, but I don't know if it should be after or before you go through your list of characters.
Is it related to the list of characters?
It's related to the finale, so I suppose it can
Okay.
wait.
Let's just go through the list of characters.
Okay.
All right. The A team, Poncho. Man, I love that kid so much.
Oh,
Poncho has my heart. Thanks.
Of all of the characters, Poncho is the one that was the most fleshed out when I started. Mostly because he's one of those, like, he embodies, other than the twins, Poncho is one of the ones that embodies, like, the main concept of he's this Mexican kid that's different. He's not quite powered. He's also not quite not powered. But he's also got these intense superpowers that he hasn't told anyone about. And he could have his own story if he needed to.
I would love to see that, just an FYI.
Yeah. There's Dreamer. She was great. I imagine her to look like the fairy gym leader in the Alolan Pokemon game. Team B, Lasagna. You got Bobby. Pierre, who can change liquids into other liquids. It's hilarious. That was probably one of my favorite
Turn
ideas
water
for a
into
power.
wine like Jesus.
Yeah. Hacker Boy. He can hack into anything, but it has to have physical buttons.
By the way, audience, Hacker Boy is spelled in leap speak.
I am a little bit furious.
So it's H4CK3RB01.
And any of the letters are all in caps.
Yeah. So, like, most of these ideas I came up with on a skiing trip with my friends while we were just sitting and relaxing between trips.
That's the best time to come up with ideas.
Team C,
Honestly.
the Shorty Squad, was Sophie, who can shapeshift into domesticated pets. You met her. Ella, she can change her height. You've seen her, but you didn't talk to her.
Yeah.
And then the final team member was Holland, and she can create holes in things, and the only reason she's on the Shorty Squad is because she's short.
I love her.
There's Team D, a pair of D's beep. That was a hilarious one to come up with because it consists of a guy named Joker who can make things without knowing how he does it. He just kind of makes them.
No, it's not Joker,
if
it's
he's-
Jokester.
Jokester. Yeah, he's the class clown. Is how I was gonna play him. There's Max. He floats and can kind of like teleport. And then there's Dennis, who censors out any mild to severe language near him.
It has in parentheses around it after his name in lowercase letters, Dick.
Dick.
Yeah, because that's his real name, but he can't say it.
Oh no!
And so the name of their team was made up by Jokester. However, because of the fact that any mild to severe language is bleeped out,
Oh my
they
god.
couldn't write
Oh,
the whole
no.
name of the team.
I thought it was like bleeped out because by like
The teacher.
the adult, like the responsible adult, like in charge of.
So the teacher that was taking their name just had no idea what was actually there, so just put a bleep.
Yep. And if you had talked to Dennis, I would have definitely had Jamie bleep out literally everything.
Yes! I would have loved that. It would have been hell, but I would have loved it.
Yeah. Alright, moving on to Team E. We had Beanstalk, Quantifier, and Hammy. You guys met them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Team F, the meaning of life, was Rosetta. She can scramble languages.
Oh, like
There's
Rosetta Stone.
Jiffy, who can materialize any sandwich. Also, I'd like to point out that Jiffy is spelled with a G.
Stop!
How dare you?
And then you guys met Zodiac, and Zodiac can change other
Yes,
events.
I remember
that
that
was
episode.
a really good episode.
Yeah,
I loved Zodiac.
that one was
so
stressful.
much.
It was.
Yeah.
That was the episode where, like, I went to Riley afterwards because we record in different rooms, and, like, just kind of sat there and leaned against him. Didn't say
Yeah.
anything.
Every one of these kids, if you had met them and if they had played a large part, they would have revealed some larger power, which is why I thought it was hilarious when Riley was like, "All these kids have dumb powers," and I'm like, "Yes, they do."
I don't think I said dumb, but I was literally just about to say, like, oh my gosh, I feel like Lyle and Nari were in, like, a totally different weight class than, like, 90% of these kids. Like, I feel like they have a lot of gimmick, like, tiny little powers that can't really be used for crime fighting, and then, like, we have a super-powered werewolf and, like, a dangerous telekinetic...
And then I brought in Pon Pon's secret power.
Oh, yeah,
and that
Pon
was just
Pon.
absorbing other people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was
Like,
horrifying.
Pon Pon is no joke. Bobby is no joke for sure. Hacker
Nova.
Boy could be, a genuinely, like, powerful threat.
Kid Nova.
Zodiac
Kid
would
Nova.
be a horrifying
Yeah.
villain.
Yeah,
Let's
Zodiac.
continue on.
Oh.
There's Guitar Hero Sucks, Team G, with a kid named Radio who can only talk like Bumblebee. And they would have been one of the, like, outsider. They would have been Alien as well.
Bumblebee
I
from
took me a
Transformers.
moment. I was like, what do you mean by Bumblebee? And
Yeah,
then
I was
like,
staring at it for a bit. I'm like, what?
yeah, it took
Like
me a
a
minute.
Bumblebee?
Yeah,
No,
and then I saw
they
Spotify,
can only talk like
iTunes,
Bumblebee.
and podcast, and I was like, oh, like the car.
At the park scene, this music is actually coming from radio. There is no
Oh.
stereo around. And I mentioned that. I said you couldn't see a speaker anywhere, but there's music.
That would have been one of those
Right.
things where, like, if it was a show, we would see them in the background, like, blasting music, but we wouldn't notice.
Just
Yeah.
standing with their mouth open.
Yeah. There's Stanley Steamer is another kid on Guitar Hero Sucks.
Oh, no.
Oh God.
He's there because he cleaned up a crime scene on accident. And he
Oh,
got
no.
in trouble with some gangs.
Oh no!
Oh, buddy.
He's one of the few that actually has, like, a backstory to why he's there.
Oh
He's not the nicest person.
Oh,
Yeah.
Looking at
And
the
then
next
there's-
one.
Vibra, they can change the speed of molecules. They have a similar
Oh my
power
gosh.
to one of the twins,
That's
but
scary.
a little more concentrated.
That could be devastating.
I like
Yeah.
that there's some that are like, oh, they're like really fun, like materializes any sandwich, and it's like changes the speed
Yeah,
of
I don't know how
molecules.
that could be used for crime fighting. I
You could
don't
just
know.
turn air to ice around someone.
Remember, the plot of this is not the fact that they are crime fighters. It's that this world doesn't know what to do with kids with powers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
And the kids with powers range anywhere from materializing sandwiches
Yeah.
and being friends with animals to friggin' absorbing other people and getting their powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going through all these characters, just like, it keeps reminding me of My Hero Academia, because there's so many characters in that are like this too, where, like, some of their powers,
I based it off of Sky High.
yeah, but, like, some of their powers are literally just a physical change. Like, they might have elf ears and that's it. Whereas there's one guy who shoots, like, really
Tape out of his elbows.
tape out of his elbows, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Team H. There's Kid Nova. You guys met him. He does the bursts of energy that wave out and then in.
Yeah.
There's Florian, who can change the center atmosphere of a place and can use it as a form of mass mind control.
Oh,
Good lord.
Not
God.
direct mind control, but, you know, definitely can influence people's
Yeah.
emotions.
That's
Still,
so,
that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's Cookie, who can multiply small objects. You saw them and heard of them. They were the ones making all of the water balloons.
Yes.
yeah, I
Oh
remember that.
yeah.
And then to boldly go where no kid has gone before, you guys met all three of those. Joyride stole a helicopter once. And that's one of my favorite things.
I remember them.
I literally love Joyride with all of my heart.
You know what? I have a lot of fondness of Timberwolf explaining the plan to Lemon and Joyride and like frustratingly trying to convince Joyride not to like crush everything with a
And
giant
then
vehicle.
Joyride literally did that.
Yeah, I
what he
mean, I
does.
kind of figured he would.
Yeah.
But Timberwolf had faith they wouldn't.
And then there's Team or Not Team with
Oh.
Mountie,
Uh,
who never misses in any sports.
oh god, that was scary.
Man.
During
He could have been
And is
great.
ridiculously good at water balloon fights.
I know, yeah.
That was great. When Free was just like, I'm gonna hit him. And I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna hit him.
And just so all of these kids had like more powerful and dangerous abilities that would have been unlocked if they'd been in the story more.
Yeah.
Some of them I'm scared for, considering some of their powers are
Yeah,
already...
some of them are already pretty good, but like
Well, except for the ones that have revealed their, large power. But
yeah,
Okay.
like what Beanstalk, his power is just that he's tall. Like what would have happened if Timberwolf had kept talking to Beanstalk?
I would have thought of something.
Okay.
Okay, so you didn't really have, like, a thing planned for a lot of them.
Some of them I did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You
but
know
there's
what?
just
You know what I think would be great? There's so much more into this world that we could delve into, but, like,
yeah.
we're only doing one season. But if we ever did live shows, I think this would be a great thing to do if you're up for it.
I definitely think this is one that could have like another season or like a live one shots held in it.
Yeah.
I know.
I would love to go
want me
back
to
to this
drop
world.
in the 3 villains as well.
Yeah.
I would love to see...
Actually,
seeing-
technically 4, because I'd have to go get.
Yeah.
Oh.
Miss Shepard is in a different
Uh,
different file.
One
somewhere.
of the things I would love to see, though, is Third Strike and Secret... Hypertide! I want to see more of Hypertide. He was
Hypertide
Hypertide
was
was great.
Sweetie.
Every
Hypertide
time.
has no stats.
I know,
He's
Riley,
succeed
you
at
just...
everything he does.
Riley,
You
you were
thought
just...
he was evil.
I'm serious. Timberwolf and I both just like whenever we think of this campaign, I feel a lot of guilt, like a lot of guilt for thinking Hypertide was the worst.
I mean, I could also drop in Turing, however, it's just Kirby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally just Kirby's stats, but he actually used them all instead of avoiding fights.
Yeah. They weren't really a villain, though. They were just being used by Miss Shepard.
Yeah. Alright, there's Miss Shepard.
Okay.
Wanna go
Okay,
get-
so we had a psychic, yeah.
Ugh, Miss Shepard, you bastard.
I was not expecting a fight today.
I hate you, Miss Shepard.
The description, the prim businesswoman that has everyone under her thumb.
Ah!
Please, enjoy the names of my moves. I took
Yeah.
so long making
I
up the
saw
names.
that.
Mother figure, disobedient, and don't roll your eyes at me.
at me.
They're
Piece
really
of,
good.
Wait, turn it up. Piece of junk, smarter than you think.
Those are seeing reds, yeah.
I love it. Hold on. Wait, and then Third Strike and base boosted. Oh, they're seeing red.
Oh.
They have their own. And loud
They have a move named after her sister.
about.
That's cute.
Oh, I actually. Oh, that's cool. You get to see the drives. Yay.
Cool.
Okay, the self-proclaimed hacksaw.
You know what pissed me off?
I did not know Hacksaw had super durability.
Huh.
That would have been frustrating. Because so
Oh.
often, like, Timberwolf, like, after the first 2 attempts of, like, getting them to stand down don't work out, he's just like, welp,
Time to fight.
time to
Hacksaw
put you in a
can-
crater.
Hacksaw can control machines from a distance? What?
Yeah, that didn't show up because he didn't actually get to be near any machines, but
Oh my god!
Hacksaw is, like, more powerful than we thought.
I know, like, all of us were like...
I cannot
we're like,
believe he
oh.
was our first ever villain.
I know, we were like, oh no, he can just, like, make things sharp. Oh well, gotta watch out for that. No. We could have had a lot more problems.
Speaking of the villains, I have a question I'm dying to ask Rowan.
Yeah?
Okay, in the finale, when we were trying to disable the machine, and it had those moving rings, at one point, Timberwolf suggested wedging himself in between the rings and using his durable body to, like, stop them from moving and thereby breaking the machine. And when I suggested that, you, like, hemmed and hawed a little bit, like that would be a really bad idea, and kind of convinced me not to. And so I didn't end up doing that.
So that machine was kind of based off of the what's it called? The giant machine in Lara Croft.
Oh yeah.
With all the planets.
I get that.
And yeah.
My question is,
there's literally a scene where a guy gets stuck between two.
And just kind of gets sawed in half.
I'm just saying, it's kind of like the Magnus thing where he's gonna jump out of the train, and Griffin's like, "This will kill you."
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to ask. Is if Timberwolf had been like, I have invincibility, I'll just throw myself in between the gears, would you have just killed Timberwolf?
Maybe not directly.
Okay. Because I think about that a lot.
Maybe if you rolled bad, but if you rolled well, it might have worked.
Oh yeah, if he rolled perfect, I would have been like, hell yeah.
Like, if I had done that, would Timberwolf have died? Like, I kind of wish I hadn't chickened out and I'd, like, risked it. Because I think that...
It's possible.
Maybe since we don't want murder, probably, of our own NPCs, especially children on our show, maybe you would just have crushed your ribs a little.
Yeah, a very gruesome death.
Oh, God.
You would have gotten really hurt.
Yeah.
And whether or not you died might have been a later factor if that situation continued. But since it didn't, it was just like, all right, cool.
Yeah, you talked me out of it, and I don't.
Probably a good idea.
I feel like I should have. I feel like I should have stuck to Timberwolf's guns there, but it ended up working out fine. We rolled really well during that finale.
Yeah. Originally what I was gonna have was, so Miss Shepherd is class S. That is the cryptid class. That's this person is so powerful they haven't even been heard of class. And because of that, I was gonna have it so that if the fight was gonna drag on, and you guys wouldn't have been close to winning, and
then not Timberwolf, sorry. Then Hypertide would have showed up.
Hypertide would have showed up and finished it. But you guys did it, and I was like, hell yeah. And Reese had the most amazing ending, so I was like, all right. Hypertide just walks in and is like, wow, you guys did it.
I haven't edited the music for that scene yet, and
God.
I'm so excited to come up with music for this show.
But also, look at this. Miss Shepherd had 5 conditions. That's the highest number.
We really went hard after her. Like,
We were
Timberwolf and Nari, like, beat the crap out of her.
I know, it was just, time to go. It was just like, it was literally all of us were just hammering after her.
Yeah.
Like, Bree and Lyle, and then Nari just kind of was the sucker punch to knock her down.
You know who the real MVP is? Confetti.
The dog.
Yes.
Come on.
Well,
good boy.
If we did more in this world, I would actually want to do it on the other Quip heroes.
Yeah, that was my next. That was actually my next question.
That'd be so fun.
Did you have designs and ideas for, like, the other superheroes? Like,
absolutely.
You talked about them briefly, and, like, I'm really sad we didn't get to meet, like, Duke Nucleus and the Onyx Avenger and stuff.
Yeah. I gotta pull up the document where we have it all listed.
Yeah. Because you've got Census, who's basically like the Professor X, and he's the super telepath one. He just knows which one is going to be his his apprentice.
Oh, we can have more Blood Moon.
Yeah. Blood Moon and Silver Bullet were all on Riley. I didn't want to have any touch in them. There's Crossfire, who's like the Green Arrow. She's a super badass lady from Raven's View. She does a whole on training camp. And, if we did a session in that, you guys would have been going through the training camp, and it would have been more like Camp Half-Blood kind of style.
That would be a fun one-shot.
That
would be really fun.
That would be so much fun.
Duke Nucleus is a very prim and proper old man who probably wears sweater vests sometimes. And,
when I think of Duke Nucleus, I think of, like, the Monopoly Man. But
oh my gosh, me too!
Yes!
Okay, I'm so glad it's not just me.
He's practically a professor. He's from a town called Old Swallowopolis. And he does interviews.
I know! That's why I think of the Monopoly Man.
That was so fun coming up with all those city names.
I
we were just like
know.
using a city name generator, and we would write down our favorites. There's just a giant list on here of random stuff.
Strawberry Berry, hold on. Fort Churchford.
Fairtown.
And then the last quip is the Onyx Avenger, who's at this city called Calvary Rock, and he also does a training camp, but it's a lot more military and strength based, while Crossfire's is more agility based.
So it's like basic training versus Crossfire's like summer camp.
Well, Crossfire
not
is
summer camp,
serious, but like
but like there's a difference between like
there's
basic
more rock
training.
climbing and running and track.
It's the difference
training
between
camp
like
is probably more like survival, while the other
Yeah.
one's more like organized military with ranks.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's camp.
Yeah, but
It'd be so fun to meet those guys.
I know, I'm not even joking, it'd be so much fun to do this, or like, it was just...
Honestly, I
wonderful.
think Crossfire I would be most interested in meeting.
I honestly, same. I mean, I would love to be Duke Nucleus just because I imagine
Yeah.
the Monopoly Man hardcore, but Crossfire would be the most fun in my opinion.
Maybe if we do like a bunch of one-offs every once in a while, we could do a Duke Nucleus one later when we've like fleshed out our characters more and like they're growing in the ranks of superheroes and like they go to him to like, hey, how do we officially become superheroes?
yeah, because since Hypertide is back, he doesn't really need anyone else at the moment. He's going to take care of the town. So what if your guys are like, all right, well, what if we just tried the other quip?
I used one of my moves to make sure we would talk to Duke Nucleus. When you're doing the character creation, there's a move that Rowan did away with called When Our Team First Came Together, because the game expects the origin story of the team to not play out on screen, and like the first session will happen already after the team is established. But the one for the legacy is, all things considered, the team did well and impressed an established hero. Who was it? And I was like, Duke Nucleus is a fan!
Nice.
And that just never got to play out.
If we were to do a series of one-shots, I imagine it would probably go, like, Crossfire, Duke Nucleus, Onyx Avenger, and then Census, and be like, bam.
That would be awesome.
I'm looking at the beacons when our team first came together, and it's really ominous concerning what just happened, because it says, we found signs that this incident was just the start of something bigger. What were the signs? I'm like, oh no!
Hey, mine was, what, we destroyed our surroundings in a fight. Where was it? What did we destroy? So I'm very happy we
destroyed
big
the
honkin',
building.
Yeah, big honkin' mind control machine for one.
Yeah, but like, as in the first time we came together, so I'm like really glad that didn't happen, because like, Nari and Lyle didn't get off right on the right foot, but then like got their bearings again.
They became good friends towards the end there.
Yeah. But like, if she had destroyed a building, I don't think that would have been the best.
That choice near the end, where like, I had been playing Bree off as like, you're a kid, Lyle, and I have a job, and I used to like be a professional athlete and stuff, and
Yeah, that did not
and
rub
that,
him the right
yeah,
way.
and then like after a bit, she's like, you know what? This guy knows more about superheroing than I do, and just kind of stepped down.
Yeah, because that, if you really look at it, it kind of was the whole. It wasn't in a conscious power play.
Yeah,
It was a grappling, because like Bree is like, I literally am an adult, like in society. I have my own apartment.
It wasn't that she looked down on him or that she thought little of him. It's just that she thought, you should have no say over what I do. You have no reason to control me.
It wasn't that he was trying to control you, it's that he was trying.
Yeah.
He expected everyone to behave in a certain way and
Yeah,
was
but that to
confused. Yeah,
Yeah, it was just confusing, and Nari was like, okay, it was like the John Mulaney, okay thing. That's how Nari felt. She
Nari
was like,
was
oh,
just
no.
there, being
poor
beautiful.
Nari.
Nari was just like, oh no.
She was a
Same.
sweetheart.
Oh,
So yeah, that was the world of patrons.
I pretty much have one last question.
Yeah.
I don't know if the others made questions, but I prepared.
Less of questions and more of just statements.
I had this thing in my backstory of Viscera, the main supervillain that Blood Moon fights, and how Viscera killed the last Timberwolf, his big sister Lindsay. Did you ever did you immediately know Viscera wasn't going to come up, or did you ever consider bringing in Viscera, into the season? Or?
I didn't want to bring in Viscera because we had talked about you doing third stringers in East Centerford and Northeast Centerford.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like using other people's characters because I don't want to mess them up.
It just I realized this is the second time I chose a class that comes with a built-in rival that you've just not used. I keep coming up with all of these rivals to fight us, and then you're just like, no.
I think it's good that we didn't bring in that person, though, because it wouldn't have fit with the theme of this story.
No, I totally agree. I think Viscera is maybe darker than the tone we ended up going for.
Their name is Viscera.
What did you expect?
And also, I don't know how equipped we would have been to fight Viscera realistically either.
Yeah.
And so I just thought it was a funny thing, but looking back on it, I think it was the right decision to not have us fight Viscera.
Bree would not have been prepared to fight Viscera.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And, keeping Viscera a very large, concept, just, you guys were working on a small case here.
Yeah.
I think it was really good, though, with... I thought it was really interesting with Lyle being here and kept referring to his old town and the way things were there, and we're just but we're not there. We're here.
Yeah.
It created a lot of tension, which I thought was really good for the plot.
I don't know how to phrase this. I, as the player, knew the concept of the game we were playing, but Timberwolf doesn't know that his life is revolving around lowercase incidents from here on out, Timberwolf came to the table expecting to be dealing with bigger issues, and that was the thing he kept fighting against, he was bucking against he expected bigger threats and more importance and stuff.
But I also liked it because it emphasized the theme of displacement for Timberwolf.
Yeah, it did, because he was we have this. He has this whole idea of what's going on, but it's not happening. And you get Nari and Bree being yeah, that's just how it is.
There was a lot of displacement as a main theme in this, whereas it was most prominent in Lyle because he was literally in a different city. This is nothing. He understands nothing here. And it was a little less prominent in Nari and Bree, but it was still there, because, with Bree, it was the fact that Lyle was there and how different he was from her, and her dealing with that because she comes from like a more happy lifestyle because it's Lucky Heights, and like just more laid back, whereas he's much more tense, and so that was so weird for her. And then with Nari, it's just the displacement of knowing what she did and trying to cope.
It's Damien in Metropolis, right? Like, it's literally like the people in Gotham going over to Superman City and being like, yo, what the hell? And vice versa. Like, one of the favorite comics I read with Damien in it, which is probably one of the inspirations for Timberwolf, was like the comic where Supergirl goes to Gotham City and sees Damien like beating up people in a back alley. And just, like, is super confused because of how different and dark and, like, messed up Gotham is, and, like, she doesn't understand. And Damien just, like, refuses to put up with her. Like, a lot of the drama at the beginning of the thing is, like, Supergirl and Damien operating on such two entirely different wavelengths and, like, having such two entirely different worldviews about how the world works.
Yeah.
And Damien having to go, like, you know what? I'll keep you around because I know my dad keeps Superman around. But you need to understand what this city is like, and you can't expect it to be sunshine and rainbows here. It's Gotham.
Yeah.
And it's like
that was something that we were talking about after one of our sessions too, about if Bree and Nari went on a mission into Lyle's home city. And, like, seeing how different it was. And just, like, seeing all these shady people. Just like, what the fuck?
Oh, my God.
Okay, Nari would be the most... Okay, like, Bree is, like, would be pretty out of place, obviously. But, like, Bree also is like, yo, I'm not one for a fight, but, like, I'll still do the vigilante justice thing. And Nari would be like, what the heck? I'm a college student. I'm not meant to be here. It's literally the, like, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. It's Nari. It's that audio.
Yeah. Oh, man. I was going to say something, but I forgot what it was.
Well?
It was just, overall, Rowan, this was fantastic. I can't wait for little, like, things here and there with them, because I would really, really enjoy bringing them back. Like,
yeah,
maybe we'll see.
I think it would be super fun to come back. I think Rowan, you did an incredible job. I had so much fun with these characters. I mean, I always regret when Jamie and I's characters don't get along because I want to seduce my girlfriend in the fictional space as well. But, like, my main regret with this season is that we didn't learn the mechanics better, and we didn't, like, I think we could have definitely learned how the game worked more and used it better to our advantage.
That's fair.
Yeah.
There was something that I wanted to do with Cotton Candy, which if we did like more one-shots and I leveled up enough, but I was really hoping that I could change her class to, which one was it? The protege. Because, like, I wanted her to realize I am not powerful enough for any of this, and I don't have any training other than some acrobatics, so I need to find a superhero and train under them.
That would have been really interesting to see, like, her become,
in the future.
Like Tide Girl or something.
Yeah, because she started off with wanting to be a superhero because, for one, it was fun. It was different than what she used to do, and she liked helping people. She liked to make people happy. But then she realized it's harder than it looks to be a superhero.
Yeah, it's just, I really love it. I'd love to be able to unlock more of Nari, because, like, in my mind, it's like Nari had this. I had an idea for Nari, and, like, I've been leveling her up a lot. Like, to the listeners who have noticed, I don't level up very often.
It's true.
Yeah.
Even with our other things.
That was so different. Like, Bree hardly leveled up at all, which is way different than all my other characters.
I know. Like, an example is, as we've described, like, with other things, how Riley says that this was the bypass system before the clock. In that one, I am so far behind that Riley once gave me an experience point for properly flirting.
That's right. You were just like, you were really struggling, and then you won a race. Like, everyone got, like, infatuated with this non-binary secretary at the town hall in the game we were playing, and you all had a race to see who could reach the desk first and flirt with the person. And Reese's character won, and then did, like, really well on the charm roll. And so I felt so bad for Reese, and I was so proud of her of the character that I gave experience points for getting a date mate.
Yeah.
No, okay, Riley, you worded exactly like this. Take an experience for growing as a person. You dead ass said that. So
Speaking of the sprawl,
like, that brings us right into the next part.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we have a lot of things planned. One of them being the sprawl, the system, but we call it bypass system.
Okay, so
Riley has a few things planned for that. We've played it for a while before this, and it was what got us into thinking maybe we can turn this into a kind of professional thing, because we loved it so much. And we've been trying so hard to figure out how to reset the whole game, because we played a bit into it, and we were so connected to our characters that we didn't want to reset them. But also, it's Mark experience. We can't just throw them in here mid-season.
I mean, you mean the characters that are awful at their jobs besides one of them?
I'm gonna step in and give a more, like, concise explanation. One of the things we will be doing next is a one-shot called Bypass System Romeo and Juliet, which is going to be a one-shot using the Powered by the Apocalypse game system, the Sprawl. I've joked about it, I've mentioned it in passing a few times before in our various episodes. I'm sure if you go looking, you'll find it. It's one of my favorite games to DM.
Anytime he talks about advancing a clock, it's a very dangerous thing in the Sprawl.
Yeah, it's a mechanic the game has.
And that's why you hear us all groan in panic every time
when a clock
it happens.
advances, that means bad things are happening.
Bypass System is the name of a setting I have designed for the Sprawl and also any future sci-fi games. It's a little bit of Star Wars, a little bit of Star Trek. It's a little bit of everything, really. It's got a lot of Gundam in it, I'm gonna be honest. It's got a lot of... I actually have a list of inspirations. It's a cyberpunk story. It's got Cowboy Bebop in it. It's got a lot of inspiration from Gundam, Star Wars, Doctor Who.
I think this is one of the most fleshed out campaigns that we've ever done, and like it's not even on Mark Experience, but like the pages that you have for just the groups.
I have like entire documents on faction notes.
It's so long.
Anyway.
I just really want it on Mark Experience because we put so much time into creating this universe that I think people should know about it and how great of a writer you are, Riley.
I know, yeah. Like, it's already evident in Eden's Grove that you're a phenomenal writer. Like, I'm always looking forward to Eden's Grove, like, just as I was with Delinquent Heroes. Even though I'm anxious about Eden's Grove, I always look forward to it. And it's like, and with what really sucked me into this is because, like, I still don't understand D&D very well, but you really pulled me in with the Sprawl that first time.
I'm glad.
Because I understood.
It's because it's all about the storytelling and not just you have to roll these 20 dice and then do math.
I'm gonna get in here real quick and say what I was trying to say earlier, which is... Bypass System is a pre-designed setting that I have for my sci-fi games, and we love it a lot, and we would like to bring it into the Mark Experience seasons and universe. To do that, though, we are going to be having a one-shot with all new characters and an all-new mission and everything to introduce the audience to it, and to reacquaint the players with the world. And based on how that goes, maybe we will play a reboot and a rewrite of the first ever Bypass System game we played off mic, off camera, that got Reese into the idea of tabletop RPGs. Or if the players really like the characters from Romeo and Juliet, and the audience also takes a liking to those characters too, we might just have a campaign with those characters also.
I'm using my original character in the full campaign.
I was gonna say I really want to bring my Bat Boy back.
We'll see.
We gotta have Haiku and
Case. Yeah.
I'm gonna save a lot of the world description and stuff for the one shot, which we'll be recording in 2 weeks. But for people that would like to check it out when it comes out, the story of Bypass System is this story of thousands and thousands of years in the future, Earth has spread out and become these 4 sprawling various civilizations and empires that spread out through space, and is slowly discovering aliens and interacting with that. And it's just this huge setting and playground where any sci-fi aesthetic or plot we want to play out is available to us because of how different all of the planets are. And it will mostly be done from the ground's eye view of various Pinkertons and low-level bureaucrats and investigators that exist in this world of these sprawling space empires. The politics of which we will be getting into in the Romeo and Juliet one-shot. One of the main things I've told the players about the one-shot is that the villain for the one-shot is a woman named Death Row Viral.
Oof.
I did not know this.
I did not know this either.
I posted it in the chat ages ago,
That's
when Reese first left. I was like, here's a teaser for Romeo and Juliet. The villain will be a woman named Death Row Viral, and her arm is made out of a meteorite, and I love her.
Yes, I remember now, and I just went, uh-oh.
She is going to be like me on my extreme anime bullshit, the most over-the-top, ridiculous, space anime shenanigans I can get up to. I've never had as big of a crush on this NPC as I've ever had on anyone, except for maybe Carmilla. I have a lot of love in my heart for playing Carmilla and how fun Carmilla is.
I love Carmilla.
I hate Carmilla.
I love Carmilla.
Maybe it's because I'm your girlfriend.
I'm not saying that I want to date Carmilla. I'm saying I have a lot of fun with Carmilla as a character.
I mean, I wouldn't blame you.
No, I would not be able to date Carmilla. There's too many problems with that. But yeah.
So for the new season, when we do the one shot, depending how we want the feel of it to go, my character, Gaia, I'm considering making a kind of dark character, or maybe just edgy. I'm not sure which I would prefer and which would work better with the season.
I think it depends. Maybe leave it start with something in the middle and based off of how things go, kind of lean towards one or the other.
Yeah. I mean, to say the premise of the one shot out, for the audience and also as a reminder, the premise is you are going to a shipwreck to rescue a pair of star-crossed lovers, and while you are saving them from a shipwreck, you also are saving their relationship. Saving their lives is a metaphor for saving their love. It basically, that's the one shot. That's what it is.
God.
Cards on the table. So keep that in mind.
I think it'll really depend, because, I think Reese is also playing kind of an edgy character.
I'm playing a character who is just wants to get the job done because
Yeah.
they're falling.
Not quite edgy, but straightforward.
Yeah, just very
Yeah.
sharp, which is going to be very different than what I normally play. So y'all are going to
Yeah.
get the slightly sharper, meaner side of me. I don't like being with my friends, even though I know it's made up.
I mean, that's what you tried to do with Case Glass, and it didn't work out.
Yeah,
But like, for like my character too, I was going to play them a little edgy, but then I'm like, you guys are playing edgy. So like,
Well,
they're gonna
it
be a
would
lot
make
softer, but not soft.
Mm-hmm.
It would make an interesting contrast from the original Sprawl.
that
Yeah.
is
system.
true because we
Yeah.
get like, and this one is like definitely more like we're talking about romance. It's like trying to focus on that.
It would be really an interesting contrast between the actual story and our characters.
Yeah, because like in that we've established that they're a little bit lighter.
I'm throwing out that like I am all for the dark ending where like you don't rescue Odette or whatever, and like you like the relationship fails and like one of them is just left to live as a broken person forever. Like
no.
that's certainly an ending you can do.
No, my character would not let that happen.
I'm thinking more like Romeo and Juliet get rescued by like dark murderers and Batman-like characters.
Now go have fun, children.
I don't want you guys to like make characters that you feel won't interact with the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Well, like my character still will. It's just that because of a failed relationship that she's already had, it's gonna be a little rough. But she's still going to be fully invested in keeping these two together. 'Cause
I
she
mean,
doesn't
her
want it
coming-
to end up the way she did.
Yeah, her coming at the relationship with that level of like hurt and kind of bitterness towards the idea of like true love or romance, I think is super compelling and definitely something that the story needs. Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing with my character is that it's just like they want to get the job done, and if the job is to rescue them, then there's that, and they don't know how to exactly tackle.
And in
Yeah.
the end, everyone
Romance
loosens
part.
up a little, and
Yeah.
Maybe we don't know.
Okay.
Depends.
I think that's giving me a better idea of how I want to play Gaia. What about dark, as in just straight up like concerning when you hear what they talk? They're like, what if we just murder that person?
It's like the fun. It's the jokey friend who like says a bunch of joking stuff, but also it's like
No.
really dark humor, and you're like, "Are you okay?"
You never
Not-
know if they're
not
joking,
joking.
about killing that
It's
person
just-
or not.
It's like, oh, that person's chill, but they also talked about cutting someone's throat open, so like, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that.
sure, for
yeah,
sure.
and then so razors would be more tight-lipped, which is
Or like April from
Yeah,
Parks and Rec.
April
Parks and
Ludgate.
Rec.
Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yes.
All right, maybe I'll think about it. I'm excited to play Gaia. It's gonna be my first character where I actually do a voice.
I'm so excited.
yeah.
I cannot do Razor's voice. I do not.
Additionally,
That is something. Sorry.
sorry. No, you say yours because I was gonna move on to
Oh,
it.
okay. Something I was thinking of doing for the Sprawl campaigns was because I already spend time like editing
Bypass system,
meticulously.
please.
Yes.
Because we might end up
bypass
playing
system.
non-sprawl games in the setting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Something I was thinking of doing for bypass system was actually editing voices to be more robotic because this is in a futuristic setting in sci-fi. So like me and Reese, we both Reese is a robot basically. They've turned themselves into a robot. So it'd be interesting to have a kind of robotic voice for that. And also
Yeah.
my character is a hologram in a flying Roomba. So
Just use Siri.
It's Siri.
no.
Type in all your lines into Siri.
It's high tech.
No, yeah, there's definitely ways to like GLaDOSify your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's gonna be that because like my character is like they are basically becoming a robot because it was kind of like the only way to survive kind of deal. So
Yeah. So that would be a lot of fun to try. I don't know if I would keep it up for the full season of bypass system, I'm gonna try it for the one shot. But if it turns out well, I might do it for all of it.
Yep. And Guy is the only one who still has original voice box. However, their eyes are definitely not original.
Oh, so you're going with the Z's?
Yeah. So
nice.
I'm planning on making Gaia Zazem.
Okay.
And then Razor is they them. So
And Effie is she her. She
It's
is
gonna be a fun group.
trans asexual.
It's gonna be really interesting to see how you interact with the two star-crossed lovers.
Yeah.
And how long do we estimate? Is this going to be a one session one-off, or is this like two or
I think
three?
it should be like either one session at most, like one session. I think at most it'll end up being one session and a half. Like one session, and then we have to spend like another night to wrap it up real quick.
Maybe.
But it shouldn't
But, like,
be
possibly.
too. Yeah.
It would probably be like 2 to 4 episodes on Mark Experience, because if it goes over 2 hours, I split it down into half.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I was asking because would we like to do the Honey Song before we start up Eden's Grove?
I actually
Since
say
it's
yes.
also going to be a one-shot?
Yes, I would love that. Give me more
That way
time.
Riley can plan more.
Riley's
right.
like, please, I beg.
So next we are going to be doing the bypass system Romeo and Juliet, and then the Honey Song, and then season 2 of Eden's Grove,
Yeah.
and then season 1 of Memento Vivere, which is the new name for my Ruma campaign.
And between Eden's Grove and Memento Vivere, probably any other one-shots we come up with.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like just cram in one-shots between seasons, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, to give
that's
a
the
break
time to
to-
do it.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, there's a very far, far, far in the future pirate one. That's all you get from me, because I really don't got much more than that.
I've already plotted out the Honey Song.
Yeah, that was something like I remember we were planning for a while ago, but we didn't get around to it.
Yeah, that's because I tested it out with some friends, and I realized that there is absolutely no combat. And judging by how masks went with not normal combat,
It's true.
I was
Yeah.
like, maybe we should wait a bit. So masks, I guess, was an introduction into like a different form of combat
Yeah.
that doesn't exactly use health.
It was really
But-
confusing at first, but then once we got the hang of it after that Saturday episode, it was
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah. But basically, the Honey Song is in a system called the Warren, where you are rabbits. You can only do rabbit things. Maybe you're slightly smarter, but you can still only do rabbit things. So there is no health. There is fright.
Which is horrifying.
Yep, and you get scared enough, you die.
Your heart
Should we
stops.
make characters for that? I don't know, like the character creation
It
system.
doesn't. It's just going to be one session, so you will have to make characters.
All right.
Characters for the Warren are really easy to do, which is why I didn't bring it up till
Okay.
now.
Okay.
But you'll definitely, like, in the next 2 weeks, you have enough time to make your
Yeah.
own Warren
Yeah.
character. There is a folder for the Honey Song. Take a look at the playbooks. It's literally, like, not a whole lot.
So we're not doing the
and-
thing of it taking generations of rabbits because they only live so long.
I'd say if we continued the
Yeah.
Honey Song, it would be a different generation every single time. But no,
Okay.
this one, the Honey Song takes place over the course of maybe a day or two.
That would be fun little one shots where every
Yeah.
every one shot is the next generation and we like reference the last generation.
Yeah. But and it's not likely we'll do more one shots of the Honey Song. I feel like this is just going to be a cute little storybook type of like
Something to lift our spirits after Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, crap.
It's
yeah.
only sad if you make it sad.
yeah. So yeah, take a look at the character sheets for the Honey Song or the Warren. And just remember that the character moves, there's one list for everyone,
Oh,
and you
okay.
can't have duplicates. So, you know,
Interesting.
write in the
Okay.
group chat which character move you choose.
Ah. Okay.
It's basically the equivalent
Mhm.
of the classes, but since there's no classes, it's the character moves. It's gonna be a fun, lighthearted one, like Peter Rabbit style game, and it'll be fun. But yeah, those are our next two, I guess. The one shots, and then we'll head off to Eden's Grove, where, oh goodness, I'm gonna be playing a new Finley.
Yeah.
Eden's Grove Season 2, subtitle, Consequences Are a Real Thing.
Oof.
I'm really excited and also terrified for season 2 because Riley says he has a lot of things planned for Sheena because we are now separating them all by character. The first season was about
Yeah,
Finley.
I mean, that was always my plan.
Yeah.
My always plan was to split Eden's Grove into, like, 3 distinct sections, each one focusing on a different player.
Yeah, just like for the first half of Eden's Grove, we didn't know that, and then we decided. But Riley has things planned for Sheena, and I'm terrified. But also, I have things I have planned that I hope will happen for Sheena, and I told them to Riley, and he's like, "Yeah, I hope so too."
Don't mess it up.
One of the things I'm excited for is to see how Luke is, like, going to change, because, like, just how he's handling things, because, like, he came into this literally not knowing anything, and now he has a chainsaw.
We still
It's
need to
true.
figure out
There's
what
so
the heck
many
is
mysteries
up with him.
y'all just didn't
Why
straight up
is he so
solve.
tasty?
Yes! Yes, why is he so like, everyone likes
That's why
him?
we have 3 seasons to solve this.
Yep, this season is about 2 things. 1, confronting you with all the mistakes you made in season 1 and making you like feel scared and afraid. And 2, actually progressing mysteries and getting you guys to solve things.
We do the Skyrim thing where we find a quest and we're like, ooh, let's try this. And then we find another quest and we're like, oh no, that one.
Yeah, so I will be focusing. I will still have open world sections and things like that, but I have set up several like mysteries that will have more enclosed like tracks for what the players will do, and hopefully the players will figure stuff out and solve some mysteries.
I think now that we've found a lot of the quests and have ideas of what our characters' wants are, what their needs are, it'll be a lot easier to follow certain quests over others.
For sure.
Like, I have started compiling, like, personal quests that I want Sheena to do.
I literally only have one thing on mind for Luke.
What's that? What's that, friend?
And it is, in Luke's mind, it is, who the hell has been starting the transformation of me being a vampire?
You have a lead.
Yeah,
I
know.
What was the woman's name?
Wasn't it Constance?
It was Constance.
Constance.
Was that all you learned?
The mayor.
Okay, you learned Constance is the wife of the mayor. Okay, good.
Yeah, we learned that, and the other lead was just straight up Dracula.
Dracula, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm excited. I feel like I'm both over-prepared and not nearly prepared enough for season 2, so we'll see how it goes.
That's how I feel every time I do a session.
I mean, I think that's just the life of being a GM.
Yeah.
You're always prepared and never prepared
I don't even
enough.
do open world sessions.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm doing kind of like a mix in between for Memento Vivere, where I have this very set story that I want you to follow, but also I'm leaving around all these quests that you guys can follow too if you want, if we have time and stuff. And just like...
I mean, all I can say for any idea I got is that because of it's pirates, y'all have multiple ideas, but it's all gonna end in the same way. Like, no matter what, y'all are getting to the same ending. I just have to figure out how the hell it's getting there.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, also, the life of a GM is just constant fear that it's not gonna work or no one's gonna like it. And, like, we are, like, months away from playing Memento Vivere, and I'm like, my cousins are flying in from China. I'm going to go down and host a mini campaign of my campaign for them and see if they like it.
And I mean, one of the things I'm personally excited for is, again, I'm veering off from what I normally do with that one, too.
Yeah.
Because you usually play like a small, soft child.
And now this time I'm literally playing a giant-ass gladiator.
Oh, which I'm so excited for. I
Okay.
have such plans.
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I think I'm also breaking type with my Ruma character.
No, you're still kind of playing the lawful good, as far as I can tell.
I just always try to make a different character every time.
Maybe not lawful good, but you're still playing a lawful character.
Okay, I see what I
yeah.
was doing different this time, though.
Yeah.
She's like more of a like chilled out flower girl. Like I don't think I've
most
ever
of your
played.
characters are super stressed.
Yeah, I usually play more uptight characters because I'm an uptight person. And I think like this like
No!
I really wouldn't have noticed, Riley. Maniacal laughter.
We only spent most of our lives hanging around you in high school and middle school and elementary school.
My point is, if I don't convince everyone in the world Marcella is a cutie, I have done my job poorly.
You haven't even played, and I already think Marcella's a cutie.
I mean, okay, one of the things I know is just I'm so excited for our guest star because I know our guest star. I explained my character, and she was like, and she just went, "How dare you bastard!" And I was like, "I know your type."
Wait, is Alyssa guest starring?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm planning 2 seasons for Memento Vivere. First season is just going to be with you guys, setting world building and plot building and all that, just trying to get you guys into the world. And then season 2 is where shit gets wild. Oh, shit gets so wild. And I am inviting in Alyssa. And
Who is?
Alyssa knows everything. We've been plotting season 2 together. But they are playing a character who, because of who they are, kind of knows everything anyway, but is not able to like show it or convey it or do anything really about it.
Like the seer, Cassandra? No, Cassiopeia? Or
no, it is. I think it's not. Yeah, it sounds like Cassandra. Yeah.
Whatever seer was cursed by Apollo didn't have no one believe her.
That was Cassandra.
Yeah, it's Cassandra.
It's just like I have a bunch of stuff planned with Alyssa's character, and like a lot of it is dream sequences and like her talking to her gods and stuff, and I'm super excited. It's gonna be great. I think my biggest problem, not problem, but like the hardest thing for me for planning season 2 was that like I have these very specific plans for each of everyone's characters. And a lot of it has to do with gods and stuff. But Rowan's character does not follow a god. They are godless. And I'm just like, how do I do this?
I don't even remember my character anymore.
I know, I need to look over my character.
I mean, yeah, we've got a while, and when Eden's Grove starts coming to an end, we'll start reworking your characters a little bit more, getting more in depth, and doing all that. But yeah, I have plans.
Yeah.
I have a pile of plots.
Lots of big plans for Mark Experience, not to mention our shop and our band camp and...
Yeah!
Oh yeah, plug all the stuff.
The fact that we're on iTunes now.
Oh yeah, we have iTunes and Spotify, and we're actually doing stuff.
Yeah, we have a Redbubble for Mark Experience.
Shit, we do?
As of today, we don't have too many things on it. However, by the time that this episode comes out, we'll probably have some more stuff updated. So go over there and check out some merch.
This will probably come out in like many months.
All the proceeds are going towards our glorious editor and artist and composer and part-time writer, part-time player, Jamie Remy.
She does literally like everything else while we play. Like there's the storytelling that is passed around, but like audio editing, posting it online, art, like so a lot of art, mainly my biggest contribution is memes.
And thank you for that. It makes editing a lot easier when I laugh along with it.
And I mean, also, Rowan, obviously, again, it's not just me, but I'm saying that's my biggest contribution.
We all contribute a lot. Like, Riley is a phenomenal writer.
I know.
So amazing.
We'll see how you feel about my writing after Eden's Grove Season 2.
Okay, we're still gonna like your writing, but we might not be a fan of what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Nothing is going to happen that isn't directly your fault.
Goodness.
Yeah, but like, Riley is an amazing writer. We wouldn't have been able to do all of this if we didn't have someone to DM for us who was brave enough to do it, and that is Riley. So thank you, Riley.
And I mean, Rowan was the first one to
Rowan started this. Rowan decided that, hey, guys, what if we made this official?
Yeah,
I feel like I'm a pretty good manager for...
And, like, you're also helping me with so much. You're helping me with the shop and giving me advice on how to upload everything onto Buzzsprout, and thank you so much. And Reese, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a great friend. It's so much fun having you with us.
Yay, because I'm gonna try to do something more.
It's great having someone different, I guess, than us, because, like, I hang out with Riley basically 24/7, and our sense of humor and sense of writing style and all that is basically the same. It's
merging.
Yeah, and Rowan and I were siblings. We grew up our entire lives.
We were
almost
siblings?
Yeah, no, you stop being siblings.
No, we are siblings, but we only grew up in the same room for most of the beginnings of our lives. It was only like until 2 or 3 years ago that we stopped living in the same room. 4 years ago, maybe. Something like that. But we have very similar thinking styles because we literally were in the same room for 15 years of our life. So it's great having these guest stars and having Reese here constantly to kind of mix things up a lot.
I'm doing the leg kicky jazz hands. Y'all can't see me, but that's what I'm doing. That's like...
And like, I may be like doing all this stuff for editing and music creation and all that, but honestly, I have no sense of doing things on my own. So with you guys being here and like encouraging me and giving me advice, it's really helpful.
We're all people filled with anxiety trying to make decisions.
Anxiety-ridden children. Anyway, I love you guys.
This is just us feeling in the end our love and affection for each other. And also just like, for the fan base, I know it's not exactly so far the biggest right now as we're recording this. But I think it has potential and it could grow. And like, I mean, we already have a fan who does a few fun little things with clay.
Yeah!
Yes, thank you to all of our listeners and followers.
At the moment, we only have, like, 5 on iTunes or something.
We have 5 followers on iTunes, though!
We do?
I'm not even following on iTunes.
I'm not either!
I am, and Riley is.
Yeah.
So,
okay, but...
That's 3.
Yeah, and like, I don't know where my friend listens. I don't know if it's still YouTube or...
Guys, Riley rated us a 4. A 4 out of 5.
Jamie was legitimately mad that I didn't give us 5 stars, and I was like,
I am mad.
I'm mad too! What the heck, dude?
I just don't think we've earned it yet.
I found that out because there's 5 ratings on our podcast on iTunes at this moment, which is August 2nd, 2019, and we just started it like 2-3 months ago. And so we have 5 ratings, and 4 of them are 5 stars, one of them being me. And then the other is a 4-star. I'm like, Riley, someone rated us a 4-star. And Riley's like, oh yeah, that was me.
Wow.
How dare you, Riley?
I just don't think we've earned 5 out of 5 stars. I stand by that.
You listen to Critical Role and Friends at the Table, and you're basing it off that.
All I'm saying is we have room for growth, and when we have grown, I will give us the 5 stars.
I mean, yeah, but like you can say that for any podcast.
To everyone who's listening, 5 stars would really help us get more traction out there, and don't be like Riley.
No! Don't listen to Rowan. If you give us 4 stars, that's okay. If you give us 3 stars, that's okay.
Honestly, any rating is fine as long as I can see that people are giving us a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just honestly, our biggest thing is give us a chance, because as Rowan did with us, there's more than like meets the eye. As Rowan did with us in this Delinquent Hero, that can really kind of shock you. Like,
and also,
I'm
I think
just
we're
imagining us like years in the future, if this is like kicked up off the ground and we're like getting a revenue from this and like thousands of followers, and like just going back through it and be like, give us a chance. I'm just like, heh. We're hilarious.
Someone did. I mean, obviously it's good to hope, but at the same time, if it doesn't, and this is just stays a small thing, you know what? That's still fine with me.
I love doing this. It's so much fun to do this with you guys and edit it and pretend, even if it's doesn't become a huge thing. It's fun to pretend that it could become a huge thing. Yeah,
there's always the hope to branch out, and like, there's always just gotta hope. You gotta hope for that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if not, y'all get 4 nerds with an occasional guest just enjoying each other's friendship and company and story writing.
All right, I just added a 5-star review to our show.
Yeah!
Thank you.
I seriously worry this lunch break will be rambling and 100% incoherent, so maybe we should...
Jamie will do good editing.
Jamie always does good editing, because we are always like this, though.
Plug all our stuff, like, say what needs to happen so we can wrap this up and Jamie can turn it into something listenable.
Yeah.
It is very listenable.
Let's start off with...
I think the thing is... Hold up, real quick. I think the thing is, I don't care if anyone else likes our show. I like our show. Exactly. I love to go back and listen to our stuff, and I find it hilarious. I will break down laughing at work, and people will be looking at me weird. I don't care. I love it. I love you guys.
Exactly.
I love you too.
I love it. Yeah, I don't want to get soppy at the lunch break, so I won't. Because I could get soppy and like probably start crying, so let's not go there.
No.
All right. Then let's cover a couple plugs. Our blog on Tumblr, Mark Experience.
We haven't updated that in a while.
I update it.
Yeah, I know. Rowan actually
often.
does their job in updating.
That is another thing that's on Rowan's job list on Mark Experience.
I occasionally add to it, but not much.
I mostly do art.
Yeah, because...
additionally, we have the Bandcamp with Mark Experience, and then artist is Jamie Remy, and that has Eden's Grove Season 1 and Camping with Cryptids on it. And depending when this episode comes out, it'll probably have Delinquent Heroes on it.
Yeah!
Last but not least, you can go to Mark Experience on Redbubble. That's a dash in between Mark and Experience. And you can shop and get some cool merch. I am gonna buy a sticker of the peeking moth icon because I friggin' love that.
I'll check out because I don't go on Redbubble. I will check it out personally.
Oh yeah, and if any of our fans are artists, like the friend that we were talking about earlier of Reese's that sent us that video in the middle of the night of some leggies that they made out of clay.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible.
It was.
I know.
We love anything that you guys have to give us. If you want to like show us art or just like fan theories or just talk to us, that'd be great.
Send us asks on Tumblr. You can use the hashtags MXP or Mark Experience, all one word. Or you can send an ask to our Tumblr.
Yeah, or comment on YouTube.
Or comment on YouTube. Yes.
Mark Experience audience, and welcome to the end credits. Thank you so much for listening to our show. If you want to see MXP art and laugh at the dumb jokes we make about our own show, you can find us on Tumblr at tumblr.com/blog/markexperience. If you like the music, you can buy it all at markexperience.bandcamp.com. And we also have merch at redbubble/people/mark-experience, where you can buy posters and shirts and stickers. If you want to donate so that we can create more content, you can head over to our Ko-fi account at ko-fi.com/Jamie Remy. That's spelled JAMIEREMY. That's my name. You can find this podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher, so listen wherever is easiest. Have fun browsing, and we'll see you next time.